Today, I'll declare the meeting open at 4 p.m. Members of the public are advised that recommendations to Council contained within this agenda can be subject to change. Applications and other interested parties should refrain from taking any action until written advice is received confirming Council's decision with respect to any particular issue. Any statement or insinuation of approval regarding any planning or development application made during an ordinary council meeting is not to be taken as notice of approval. Anyone who has an application lodged with the Shire must obtain and should only rely on written confirmation of the outcome of the application and any conditions attached to the decision made by Council. Council members and the community are reminded that should an exception resolution be passed, that this has the effect of making the decision to accept the officer's recommendations stated in the agenda without change as the Council's decision. An audio and visual record will be made by means of live streaming of these proceedings and uploaded to the Shire's YouTube page for viewing. Acknowledgement of country. The Shire of Harvey acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land and their continuing connection to the land, waters and community. We pay our respects to all members of the Aboriginal communities and to their cultures, and to elders both past and present. Item 2, record of apologies and leave of absence. Neil? Item 3, applications for leave of absence. Neil? Item 4, reading from a book of learning and wisdom. Councillor Burgoyne.
Mr. President, tonight I quote Thomas Paine, an English-born American political activist and revolutionary who lived between 1737 and 1809. It's a quote on strength and morals. I love the man that can smile in trouble, that can gather strength from distress and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but he whose heart is firm and whose conscience approves his conduct will pursue his principles until death.
Thank you, Councillor Burgoyne. Item 5, declarations of members and officers' personal interests, as per the screen. Any others? No? Okay, item 6, response to previous questions taken on notice is nil. Item 7, public question time. So, nil. Item 8, petitions, deputations and presentations. So nil, quite a month. Item 9, announcements by a presiding member or CEO without discussion. I'd just like to pass on Shire's condolences to the family of Troy Pickard, who recently passed away, aged 48. He was a former Joondalup Mayor from 2006 to 2017. He was Deputy Mayor of Stirling from 01 to 05, but he was Walga President from 2010 to 2015 and was President of the Australian Local Government Association from 2014 to 2016. He was a very good advocate for local government sector, so yeah, condolences to all his family. Okay, item 10, confirmation of minutes. Confirmation of ordinary council minutes of Tuesday 21st of December 2021. Someone move? Councillor Cabrego, seconder. Councillor Caboni. Likely to be any discussion? Put the motion. Is anyone against the motion? The motion is carried. Item 11, receipt of minutes and recommendations from committees. And that the Audit Committee meeting minutes from Tuesday 18th of January 2022 and recommendation that the minutes of the Audit Committee meeting held on Tuesday 18th of January 2022 as printed be received and the recommendations contained therein be adopted by Council. Move Councillor Beach, second Councillor Bromlin. Likely to be any discussion? I'll put the motion. Is anyone against the motion? The motion is carried. Item 12, officers' reports. The Shire of Harvey Standing Orders Local Law 2017 permits Council to adopt recommendations by exception, resolution or en bloc. Recommendations contained in the officers' reports were adopted by exception resolution with the exception of the following items. So 12.1.1 requires an absolute majority and 12.5.1 requires the appointment of council delegates. So, all happy for those to be adopted en bloc? Have moved Councillor Dixon, second Councillor Campbell. Right, there be any discussion? Put the motions. Anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. Okay, item 12.1.1, delegation 1.1.8, Shire of Harvey Recreation Grounds Camping. We have the officer recommendation. Move Councillor Bromham, second Councillor Dickinson. Is there likely to be any discussions? Okay, I'll put the motion. Is anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. 13-0 absolute majority. Item 12.5.1, terms of reference community precincts reference groups. We have an addendum.
Sorry, you will just be so this will be the Shire President. A deputy.
Okay, councillors, so for the appoints the following persons on the Australian Precinct Community Reference Group, the Shire President and 2 councillors and a deputy. The nominations for the Australian one, Councillor Bromwell.
I'll nominate Michelle Campbell.
Councillor Campbell. Councillor Lovett. Is there a deputy? Councillor Bromwell. Any other? Point 5 had a nomination from Councillor Coleman. Deputy. Councillor Beach. Councillor.
Councillor Gregor,
Gregor.
Councillor Coleman.
Yep.
Did you say Councillor Coleman?
Yeah. And a deputy for Harvey. Councillor Beach. Are we all happy with that, councillors? Okay. We have a mover, a seconder, Councillor Campbell, Councillor Coleman. Likely to be any discussions? I'll put the motion. Is anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. Okay, item 13, elected members' motion on which previous notice has been given is nil. Item 14, notice of motion for the following meeting is nil. Item 15, questions by members of which due notice has been given is nil. Item 16, reports of members, that's to be sent in by councillors for inclusion in the minutes. And item 17, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of meeting. And the motion that a new business of an urgent nature be introduced by decision of meeting as item 18.1.1 be put on the agenda. Councillor Beach moved, Councillor Bromham second. Put the motion. Is anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. So item 18, matters behind closed doors. Moving behind closed doors. That council moves behind closed doors in accordance with section 5.232A, a matter affecting an employee or employees. B, the personal affairs of any person, and E3, a matter, if disclosed, would reveal information about the business, professional, commercial or financial affairs of the person. Move Councillor Burgoyne. Second, Councillor Coleman. I'll put the motion. Is anyone against the motion?
Last motion back in front.
Oh, was it Burgoyne and Beach?
Yeah.
I thought Beach had his hand up first.
Quite right.
You've got to listen to the presiding member.
Thought you said Beach first. Oh, Beach said Beach first.
When you're ready.
Okay, item 19, as there's no more business to discuss, we'll declare the meeting closed.